Little Russell unboxing. This is gonna be cool because if you remember, if you've been watching the channel for a long time, I bought a pair of Russell moccasins for like, I think the 1st or 2nd Mocktober that I happen to still have, you know? And I bought these before Luke and the new generation of guys at Russell's took over. And so it's gonna be, and anytime a business changes hands, there's always, no matter how good the brand is, there's gonna be people saying like, oh, they don't make them like they used to. They sold out, they sold it to a different group, like this, and this, because most of the time it's true. Like most of the time when a company sells their company, they lose a lot of times the figurehead, the soul of the company, the ethos, whatever it happens to be, a lot of times it gets lost in the new brand trying to optimize and maximize production and margins and revenue, like all these things, a lot of times get lost. And so we just kind of fell into a really fortunate thing where I just happened to buy this boot right before the new Russell guys took over, and they still make that boot. And so now I've got one of this same boots, the PH, from the new generation and the previous generation. So we'll know exactly what they changed, how they changed it, for better or for worse, if anything's changed at all. And it's a rare instance we actually get to do that with a very premium boot and a very high-end boot making brand like Russell. And if you don't know who Russell moccasins are, they've been around for 124 years. You know, they're one of the brands that really took that Native American moccasin style, fused it with the more European boot making techniques to make a true unique outdoors boot that has some features and benefits that you really can't get with any other boot because of how they're lasted basically backwards from most boots. Most boots are lasted from top down and then Goodyear welted and filled up. Moccasins are lasted from the bottom up, and then that's where you get that mock toe stitch. And that's the whole genesis of all mock toes, is originally from moccasins. And now obviously most mock toes are not made in a moccasin construction, and so this mock stitch on 99% of boots is just aesthetics. You do get a little extra height, you get a little extra structure in the toe, but for the most part it's just aesthetics. And so this is one of the true companies that started doing it, that's still doing it, that lasted through all the chaos. They've had a lot of famous presidents, a lot of famous people wear their boots. Charles Lindbergh wore them, Earl Schaefer wore them, the Bushes wore them, a bunch of other previous presidents and famous people. You know, you can go on their site and you can see all these different people. Earl Schaefer, Eisenhower, William Meinzer, George H.W., and about every other cool person in the last 100 years wore a pair of Russells. And it's such a small brand that a lot of people have never even heard of them, let alone their really cool history and how long they've been around. And like I mentioned, and if you want to see more about the Russell history and more about their construction, I've already cut apart one of their backcountry boots that isn't quite built to this same way, but everything structurally is the same. So go watch that. We go through the history, all the construction, why it's such a different and unique feeling boot. It's a criminally under-reviewed video. It only has like 50,000 views, and I was like, this is like one of my favorite videos we've done. So go watch that, because we kind of go through why and how the new generation of owners at Russell came in, and what they're trying to change and how they're trying to change it, modernize and update this brand to survive another century, hopefully. And so it's been really cool seeing this transformation. But did we lose some quality in the handover? Is anything different? So right now we're just gonna unbox this and see if we can see anything visually, and then we're gonna cut them in half from October and really see if there is any difference. And they're different sizes. I was gonna say I'll probably cut one from each size, but they're different sizes. So let's unbox them. What are we unboxing them with? This little Kershaw knife, super handy, very scary sometimes. If you want this, it's a Blade HQ exclusive. They're another Utah company. Went down and filmed with them. I'll put links to that video below. And they're really cool to support us, send us a bunch of cool knives. So I like to show them to you because knives are cool and they go like hand in hand with boots. And so people are like, that's a Microtech, bro. Do you even know what a Microtech is? I'm like, I don't. I'm just barely getting to the knife world. They're like, that's a $500 knife. And I'm just sort of like flicking the thing out over and over. This one's not 500, but those Microtechs are. Anyway, let's unbox. Ooh, got some new stuff from Russell since the last time I got a box from them. Exchange policy, the returns, QR code to submit your returns. Nice new branding, Russell Moccasin footwear for outdoor folks. And what else do we have? Nice stickers. I always appreciate stickers. I never put them on anything, but I like them. And this is something I talked to Luke about the last little bit. Because they're changing the slightly, that's one thing that they are changing is the insole setup. At least changing it from the back countries, because inside of here, yeah, I don't know what I guess you have to wait for the cut in half to really see. But my pair of back countries have a half sock liner. This is a full insertable insert or insole that has some tape on the bottom that you can take that off and it'll stick in your boots. I'm curious if there's still a half sock liner in there. So I got obviously 2 of those. I like that last, fairly anatomical. See how much it bends over. Instead of going straight, it goes chink. That's order form. Okay, there we go. Ooh. That is a good looking boot. Oh my gosh. That is, I want this boot. I do not want to cut it in half. Wow. These are so cool. I also just love Russell because it is such a unique brand and rightfully, like they've stayed alive, but like most of the other brands like this have died off because it's such a difficult thing to do. But look at that. That is a fine looking boot. So what is this boot? I love the canvas color too. The canvas matches that like sand color, that coyote kind of color, the sole and that. Yeah, so this is the Professional Hunter, or the PH. And if you thought the backcountry were pricey, these babies come in at $750. And they say that named after the experienced trackers who guide dangerous game hunts, the Russell PH series boots have been stalking plains of Africa and Australia for over 40 years. An excellent boot for warm weather situations in any country. The PH is the go-to boot for hunters and guides on safari. Breathable, packable, and extremely durable, the PH is a unique boot that it's equally suited for daily wear. And this is where it's different from the backcountry, is the construction, because configured as a lightweight single vamp moccasin with a molded sole, the PH provides excellent footing for a wide variety of terrain. This unique construction supports and protects the sides and the bottom of the boot while allowing the boot to stay light and flexible for ultimate comfort. Designed for breathability in hot climates, this construction provides an excellent, more 3/8 inch wedge, 360 Vibram outsole, which I think is pretty cool. I think this is the first time I've ever had one of these. Let's just see the durometer on it. 70 on the bottom, 65-ish on the side. So it's still pretty hard. It's going to give you some durability and a lot of grip. I like the pattern too. I think it's nice. And so basically what I was getting at with the construction is this is different from the oh, got some laces in there. Makes sense. This is different from the backcountry, because you remember the backcountry had a lining. So it's almost like 2 boots placed in each other. This is similar, but without the lining, it's another layer on the outside. So you've got 2 layers that are lasted up around the side and no lining on the inside. So you get some of the lightweight, some of the breathability, but you don't get that more silicone infused leather booty on the inside. So this one's not going to be as waterproof. They do have a version that combines the 2 of them to make like basically the most robust, most durable, most over redundant boot that Russell makes. But this is kind of the step up. It's like, to me anyway, it's, you could say the backcountry and the PH Hunter are same level, but to me it's like the Safari is like the boot I have a little, I don't even think they sell it anymore. It's like a very casual boot. Then the backcountry, then the PH, the Professional Hunter, and then that top tier, what is it called? Let's find out. The South 40 or the Cambo, because that combines both of those. And so depending on what you need, one could be above the other in like durability and use, but like, similar but different ways of doing a similar thing. And it just looks cool. Like, look at it. And I think I got it in my size, 9.5E, because I'm a 10 on the Brannock, and I go with 9.5E because I like a little wiggle room. But the nice thing about Russell and this new generation that came in, this run this business, is they've updated the sizing. You can you put a credit card on the floor, scan your feet, it tells you your size. Their website's really clean. Their whole process and their whole fulfillment center or like situation is really, really fast and effective or efficient. And so they already have made some good strides in the Russell brand. Not Russell brand, Russell brand. So let's try them on. Whoa. Right over a mug. So what am I wearing? These are the Drifter 3s. And I don't know when this comes out. So they're either gonna come out or they're already out or they're already sold out. but these are cool. And I won't geek out about them too much for sake of brevity, but I'm very excited about these boots. This is the first day I'm wearing them. So by the time you're watching this, they're already well broken in, and you can probably see all that red popping through, hopefully, by then. Oh, I forgot to look at it. So it does have the half sock liner in it. So it looks like they're sending them with these. Okay, here we go. It's a satisfying thump. That is a good looking boot. I love the look of this boot. I like the look of this one more than the backcountry. It's just a little more ornate, has a little more detail to it. You know, it shows off a little bit more of the uniqueness of this style of boot. I have to throw kilties in mine, take up that extra space. I did that with my pair of safaris and my backcountries because you've always got dainty little lads going on. So I had to fill it up with, I'll show you, a shameless plug of the Rose Anvil kilties. So these are my backcountries. See, I got the Rose Anvil kiltie in there. Just takes up a little bit of room, protects the tongue, gives it a nice little westerny look. You can also put the no-show kilties in there if you don't want that fringe, but I kind of like the way it looks. I think it's a nice little, maybe scoot up here. Oh, good. I like that. You can see I've been really beating these up a fair amount. But you know what I mean? Like, if you're looking at the two, there we are. You know, I like the look of this one just a little bit more, a little more detail to it, a little more ornate. And I like it. So, that's the PH, the Professional Hunter. This will be cut in half here pretty soon. I'm going to try to get some miles in it, get it worn for a little bit, to get an experience in it, to be able to actually talk and compare it to the backcountry and my pair of safaris. And if you want a pair, check them out below. Russell's a really cool small company that's trying to keep this one style of making boots alive that's basically died off across the board. There's a few other moccasin makers still left in the US, but nobody really does it the same way Russell does. And so they're kind of a national treasure. And yeah, it's cool. And I like the products, I like their boots, I like anything that's the upper echelon of anything, I love. And that's what Russell is. It's just the most over-the-top, ridiculous, most handmade moccasin style boots you can buy in the US anyway. I'm not sure about the rest of the world. I don't know the whole world of moccasins, but I'm pretty sure these are about as good as it gets. I have yet to see any other moccasin company that does it as good as this. And it's just cool. Yeah, it's like an old company doing it old way. And like it's so, and like, I know it's the end of the video, but go watch the Russell video because it's so cool to see how differently these are made and how much longer it takes to make this style of boot compared to like a Goodyear welted boot, a stitched down boot, a Blake stitch boot. It takes several times longer to make this style of boot than basically any other boot. And somehow it's still alive in 2024. We're in this era of AI and social media and everything online, working from home, Skyping, all this stuff. Somehow this style of construction that's been around for almost 200 years and even longer with the style of moccasins being the Native Americans, English and European style boot making, fusing the two together, somehow it's still around. And I can't help but like geek out over it because it's so cool. So that's it. So thank you guys for watching. Check out the videos I talked about all like 5 times below. Be on the lookout for the cut in half. And thanks for everything you guys do making this possible. I like doing this, unboxing cool stuff and just geeking out about it. It's one of my favorite things that we do. So thank you guys. See ya.